know what God's calling me to do? Does everyone have a calling on their life? Spiritually minded people, whether they refer to themselves as Christian or not, tend to have a strong sense that they're supposed to be doing something worthwhile with their lives, to be helping the world become a better place in some way. As a result, they ask themselves about purpose and calling. I've already talked about purpose in a previous video. Check the link above to watch that one. Anyway, because of that, because of the people asking themselves about purpose and calling, motivational speakers and preachers and self-proclaimed gurus have muddled the concept until you're either convinced you're a spiritual dumbbell or that you have to go through 5 years of expensive retreats and or 50 mind-bending steps in order to figure out what you've been called to do. Many people end up falling into a pit of dismay when they're trying to wade through all the philosophy and theories surrounding the idea of being called, because they hear about all sorts of people who declare that they've always known their calling, whether it be of the religious type or not. They talk about all the decades they've spent following their calling and how fulfilled and joyful it's made their lives. And because this one particular type of lifetime calling is continually thrown up into our faces as the prototype of what it means to, quote unquote, be called, the rest of us are left to believe we're either not called to do anything or that we're too dense to figure it out. Some people with a certain belief system even fear burning in hell for eternity because they can't figure it out. And thus, the purpose and calling gurus take advantage of this fear and have made loads of money in the process. But though God may call some people to participate in a certain ministry or career for their entire lives, I'm not entirely certain that He actually does. I'll talk about that in a later video. He doesn't call most of us in that way. The truth is, for most of us, God's calling on our lives regularly and sometimes frequently changes. I'm going to blow your mind with my next statement. Are you ready for it? Calling is not about passion, interests, or money. Now, before I say one other thing about calling, let me make this clear. If you ever hear anyone say that either your purpose or your calling is tied up in how much money you can make from it, run. Run, do not walk in the opposite direction. More than one Christian leader, and I'm telling you, Christian leader out there, has begun preaching a message that goes well above and beyond the prosperity gospel, which is a problem in and of itself. They are saying that if a particular thing you're interested or skilled in won't make you a living income, then it can't possibly be your purpose or calling. That is complete and utter cow dung. And if you're a person of faith, it is also completely contrary to what the Bible teaches. That settled, allow me to explain how to discover and walk in God's calling for you. There are 3 simple, even easy steps. The first is to live your life to the best of your ability with the intention of making the world around you a better place. And guess what? Most of you watching this video are already doing that. The second step is to keep your eyes open to opportunity. Each moment provides a unique opportunity to show and spread love and encouragement. The third step is to examine the opportunity before you and ask yourself a couple of questions. Number 1, Do I have the skills to step into this opportunity? Number 2, when I think about availing myself of this opportunity, does it sit right deep inside of me? If God is truly calling you to take hold of any particular opportunity, contemplating it should bring a sense of joy and peace, if not enthusiasm. But remember, enthusiasm does usually, probably most often, doesn't accompany a call. But you should feel joy and peace around it. While God's leading sometimes does feel like a strong urge, it's most often a delicate, warm, silent, peace-filled yes. On the other hand, if on thinking about the opportunity, you sense some kind of warning inside, or you feel a guilt-laden compulsion to do something, then either you're not being called or it's probably not something you're supposed to do. Here are some examples of callings you'll probably never hear the gurus talk about. A calling can last a moment, or it can last a lifetime. For most of us, they consist of many moment-sized callings with longer, albeit short-term ones in between. You may be called to smile at the stranger you're passing on the street. Pick up the phone and talk to a family member or friend. Lend a listening ear to an acquaintance, perhaps even to a stranger at the grocery store or other public place. Volunteer with some kind of community service or nonprofit organization. Lead a project in your community. Lend a hand to one of those projects. Play ball with the neighborhood kids whose dads have gone AWOL. Be a stay-at-home parent. Foster children. Adopt children. Work a particular career for a certain period of your life, at the end of which you would be called to doing something else. You could be called to partner financially with a given charity, to downsize your belongings and give what you no longer need to charity or to someone who needs them, to participate in a local fundraiser. I could go on almost forever with this list, but you get my drift. A calling isn't necessarily a long-term thing, and in fact, it can be just as simple as smiling at a stranger. If you're addicted to formulas, which you might be because we've all been taught all these formulas of how to be successful and blah blah, but here's my formula. Calling equals opportunity plus the skills or knowledge to participate in the opportunity plus an internal inspiration or divine nudge toward the opportunity. But here's the good news for you today. You don't need a formula. If you're living life the best you can, with a heart to serve, you don't have to worry about looking for callings. You're going to walk right into them without even trying. Peace to you, and may blessing abound in every area of your life. And make sure you subscribe if you want more videos that encourage you and help you on your way like this one.